In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to format a Google document into the MLA style. I've created this new file, and I'm going to rename the file. Basically, what I'd like you to do is to include your name, the course number, whether you're taking 104 or 105, and then the term that you're taking the class. So, for example, if this is the spring of 2003, I would write SP03. If it's fall, you would write FA, and then the last two numbers of the year, and SU for summer. And then click on OK. You should see that your document name has changed, and you should also see that the changes have been saved. So as I mentioned, we're going to use the MLA style to format this document. One very good resource is the Purdue OWL, and they have a guide. They have guides for various style formats. We're going to be using the MLA guide. So if you go to the Purdue OWL website and click on MLA guide, you'll find all kinds of resources that will help you to format the document. On this front page of the MLA style, if I scroll down towards the bottom, I'm going to see a section called Formatting the First Page of Your Paper, and it will basically look like what you see here on the screen. Okay, so the MLA style has a number of consistent characteristics. For one thing, on the upper left-hand corner is your name, your professor's name, the title of the course, and the date. The date is usually the date that this paper will be submitted. You have your title of the paper here, and then basically the document is double-spaced. You also have your last name followed by the page number in the header, and that will occur on every page in your document. So I'm going to go back to my Google document and begin adding some of this content. Okay, MLA asks for 1-inch margins on all sides of the document, and the default template in the Google Drive documents already has that, so we're ready to go ahead and begin inserting the text. First thing I'm going to do is add the header. So as I had shown you on the Purdue OWL page, in the upper right hand corner is your last name followed by the page number. So the way that you add that to your document is to go to Insert and select Header. Okay, and write your last name, and then insert the page number at the top of the page. Okay, so it's currently defaulting to a left alignment, and we want to click on Right Align so that it aligns on the right side of the page. Okay, now directly below that header, and you want to push your cursor with the arrow keys so you're all the way up at the top. You would have your name, your professor, plus their last name, the name of the course. I'm going to write, I'm going to backspace here, History of Architecture 1 or 2, depending on what you're taking. And I would also include the class name that you would see in the catalog. So Architecture 104, for example. And then the last thing that we want to include is the date. So we don't know quite yet, but what I would suggest that you do is put, for now, the last month of the term that you're taking the class. Typically this would be the date that the paper is due. So if it is in fact the fall of 2003, for the time being I'm going to write December of 2003, and maybe I'll just add a little XX, which I can change later once I know the date. Okay, now one thing I want to make sure is that there is a ½ an inch above my last name, so I'm going to space a couple of times in my header so that that drops down. Okay, now the document should be double spaced, so as you can see I left a space between these, but we can format documents so it does this automatically. If you go to Format, Line Spacing, and you change that to double. Now Now directly below the date is where I'm going to place the title. Gone back to the Purdue OWL, and as you can see, the title is here, and it is a double space below the date. And it also is centered in the document. Now, for the title of this, I'm going to provide a title for you. Now, although, of course, everyone's paper will be slightly different, this is going to be called an architectural history. For the subsection here, so it'll be an architectural history followed by the period in which you're studying. If you are studying Architecture 104, you would write early architecture through the 17th century. And if you're studying Architecture 105, you would write architecture since the 17th century. So again, 104 will be early architecture through the 17th century. So I'm going to go back to my Google document, early architecture through the 17th century. And again, if you're taking Architecture 105, you would write architecture since the 17th century. And again, this is going to be center justified. My format for my line spacing has been set to double, so now every time I type a line of text, it should come down 2 lines. Other things to consider in the MLA style: you need to indent the first paragraph, or the first line of every paragraph. But other than that, this sets the basic formatting. Through the semester, we will be adding subsections to this, and I'll give you some more detail on that later.